r/AskReddit created by routinereddit. What BS are you dealing with at work right now? I handed in my notice at work and my boss suddenly stopped talking to me. Lol. Ha. I handed in mine because they treat me like a punching bag and now they are being nice and chill about everything, like they are my best friend. Should have just been that way to begin with, you idiots. Me too. My boss has been so nice lately, but why weren't you like this the past 4.5 years? Now he's asking me to stay because everyone is quitting. Lol. Now I'm good. I don't even have a job lined up, but I just know I gotta get out of there. My last day is Friday, so they made me write a guide on how to do my job because no one else knows how. I feel you 100%. My last day was last week and I didn't do the dang guide LMAO, but now they keep sending me messages and calling me to ask how to do what I did. And I was just an intern. Can you believe that? My stepdad is an old school computer programmer. He worked for a big insurance company. For decades he tried to explain to the higher ups that they needed to restructure their system because they were using code that nobody uses anymore. Nobody listened. 5 years before he was up for retirement they offered him a pretty great early retirement deal. They thought they were saving money. He got called back in 2 months to come back and help fix some issues. He charged private consulting fees that paid more than his old salary and was still collecting his retirement. He worked about 15 hours a week for more than double the money of working 50 to 60. Just figured I'd give a positive story in this thread. He was literally the only person that still knew the old system. It's called the bus factor in software development. How many people on your team can be hit by a bus before you're screwed? Pro tip, if your bus factor is 1, don't offer that guy an early retirement package and get more people. That rule stays the same for any job. Yeah, but software developers are especially prone to being hit by a bus. Being scheduled on basically every day I was supposed to have off. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Try not to suck any dicks on your way through the parking lot, including me. 37. 2 of my co-workers were promoted out of the department and no one was hired to replace them, leaving me to do the work of 3 people minimum. Upon expressing that my own hours weren't enough time to get the work done, even with overtime, I was told, you have to get it done. If you can't get it done it means we'll have to find someone else who will. Robot. What you're looking for is a robot willing to work 24/7 for a barely living wage. Got it. Glad to know the company values my mental health. Yeah, resume dust off time. If they are not even listening it's never gonna change. What's sad is that this is the norm now. That happened to me 2 years ago. But it was more along the lines of one person going on an extended vacation and the other seriously injuring themselves. Drunk. Gravity. Stairs. I worked as a shipper receiver and I was getting slammed. 2 separate loading docks on opposite sides of a really large commercial building. I kept on calling my manager asking to send a floater, but she literally kept on ignoring my calls over the span of a week. So I dropped what I was doing and went over there to see what was up. I walked onto their dock with everyone on their butts banging the dog whilst everything was done. When the manager seen me and how pissed off I was, she pulled a Michael Scott and hid in her office and pretended not to be there, turned off the lights and walked slowly to the curtains, pretending I couldn't see her, closed her blinds and turtled up inside. She was absolutely confused when I handed in my notice the next Monday. Banging the dog. Common Canadian workplace saying, especially in the construction industry. Also see, dog danger. Bar manager and 20% of the staff quit. Owner hasn't hired anyone. It's been 3 months. No one can take unexpected days off or call in sick and inventory is at an all-time low. Except the kegs. So many kegs. We keep running out of freaking everything. I and others Have offered to help over the summer and nothing has come of it. The restaurant is expanding and we need more employees, but my boss is too focused on having us dust during construction, replacing glassware with crystal, and setting up public accessible training courses to bother with actual management. Oh, and communication is non-existent, so I regularly show up to work and have no idea where crap is or what the new procedures are. Sounds like you need to go talk to the bartender circle of your city and find a new place where you'll be appreciated. Thanks dude. Sometimes you just need to hear something like that, ya know? Always nice to have a chance to complain anonymously to lol. It's just frustrating BC. I really do like my job and customers. Lots of cool regulars, and I'm the senior most bartender, so I'm mostly left alone and get priority scheduling, especially nice W/school and a kid. I've always said communication and compromise is the key to any successful relationship, and that's where my boss fails miserably. If you do leave, and if your regulars do like you, they might follow you. I've definitely done that. Oh, that bartender works here now. Well, we are going there tonight then. Boss doesn't understand how time works. I had a boss once come to me and say, "Stop what you're doing. Nothing else matters. Focus 100% of your time on this." So I did. The next week he comes to me again and says the same thing. Literally word for word. I remind him that I'm not finished the super important thing from last week, and he says it doesn't matter. The new thing is important. Put 100% of my time on it. The following week he comes to me and asks me if I finished the first task. No, I say. I stopped working on it to work on the new task. But, he says, I told you to work on it 100%. I said, you want me to work 100% on task A and 100% on task B? Yes. Yes he did. Not 50 over 50 100 hundredths. He didn't understand time. You got two hands, don't you? Use 100% of your right hand on the first task and 100% of your left hand on the second one. Works in porn. I was offered a job at another location. I told my boss about it, and my current company offered me a raise to stay. I took it. It's been 2 months and I haven't seen the raise in my paycheck yet. Depending on where you live, that is very illegal, and they owe you money. That being said, you got it on paper, right? I was an idiot and shook her hand and said deal. Nothing on paper. I brought it up the other day and she said she is working with ours on it. That's a fat RIP for you. Unless you have voice recording, there's nothing you can do. I have it in my text messages. Just remembered that. You can show that to ours. Go yourself and show them. But first take screenshots and send them to a secure, non-work email. Also put them on several USB drives and put them in different safety deposit boxes. Also bury them at various points around the world and create a treasure map. Then dig them up in 25 years when you remember you were supposed to get a raise. Girlfriend took the time off in advance to see a best friend she hasn't seen in 2 years for literally 1 day. Work is currently telling her that they are scheduling a mandatory employee meeting everyone needs to go to, or else you get fired. Keep in mind there is barely anything important that ever gets announced at these. Edit. I'll mention that this is PA. It is going to be an unpaid meeting at a location that the owner owns somewhere else, and she put in her request weeks before the owner made this decision. My HS job had mandatory meetings like every other week. If you missed one, you were supposed to lose your shifts for the next week. Nothing important ever happened at them. I missed one cause my great uncle had a heart attack and I forgot to call. Wasn't the top priority on the hour drive to go see him. Good thing they let that one slide, cause otherwise they would not have had the staff to be open. No one else liked to work and tried to go home early. Why would they shoot themselves in the foot like that? Pretty retarded. Client had a full 10 months to review a demo site that we had up. They made a couple of nitpicks and claimed they were happy with it. The site went into staging a few weeks ago, and they immediately came up with a list of 50 plus issues with it, and demand it be fixed, or they won't renew the contract. Edit. It's a bit complicated. I think part of the issue is that the upper management didn't look at the site until it was in staging, and they are the ones that noticed the problems. We are releasing patches on a nearly daily basis, which is keeping them happy. Just today that said that all the major roadblocks are out of the way and the site can go to production. Ah, I see you also work at every business ever. Oh come on, don't exaggerate. He is only describing about 90% of the clients. 60% of the time, they complain every time. I appear to be working on their other project. 6 months ago we gave them a list of items we need to move forward, and that upon getting the items we'd need 60 days to implement the list of items. Received items on Friday, got an angry email today saying we are 4 months behind. I may go live in the bush. I have a vendor who gives me the same answer every day that I email him. Let me check and get back to you. His shipment has slipped by over 2 months at this point and it's driving me nuts. He's doing the same thing to other people in my office on other projects. He's on a quick list to be blacklisted, but unfortunately, the clients love his stuff. Unless they're the owner, call their boss. Whenever this happens to me, I call their boss and just say I haven't been able to get a hold of so and so, can you help me with this? Vendor/suppliers/subcontractors work for you, not the other way around. He's not the owner, but the owner has the same attitude. I've spoken to him, and his answer is pretty much a shrug, and it is what it is. It sounds like a good time to stop carrying his products, then. Sucks that customers love them, but if they can't get their crap straight, why pay them? Also, money talks and changing vendors makes people wake up.